Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna go deep dive into the hidden meanings of Avatar and how they actually talk about some of the reset things happening on Earth. Especially the destruction of the giant trees, the Nephilim, the giants, and the reset, a lot of very important things. Now, let's look just at this photo here and remember, let's put this together with this one. Let me just go find the right one here, guys. The tree stumps, okay, the tree stumps of the mountains and Avatar. Now in the Avatar movie we have the Na'vi, and these people live on a amazing world where, as you can see here, the trees are just absolutely ginormous, as in they go to the clouds. That's how big the trees are. And then we have in our current world that, all the mountains we have in the world, lots of them, the vast majority of them, are effectively just what? Cut trees, cut massive trees. And the Devil Tower is one perfect example of that, okay? So in the movie, they're effectively telling us that in the ancient past, they recognize, and this is how movies work, they show us hidden messages. James Cameron knows about this and is trying to kind of show us in the past, okay? And look at this another one here. This is a perfect example here. Like in many fantasy movie, in many fantasy films, they show these massive huge trees. Now this is one of the islands, I think, I'm not sure, I don't remember where it was from, but somewhere from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere, where you have effectively, again, like this very bizarre piece of mountain, which is not a mountain, which is effectively a completely cut tree stump, which has been left there abandoned after they harvested, who, I don't know, but someone harvested the planet. And the same happens in Avatar. In Avatar, obviously the humans are the ones which are going to harvest the planet of the Na'vi, but it just shows that effectively, like, they can't say obviously other people, because the whole point of the movie is to tell the truth under the guise of a fantasy story. But the humans in the movie are the people from the reset of the past, which effectively did exactly the same thing. Look at this one here. This is a perfect comparison as well. The Na'vi and the image of a human being, okay? Now, we know that in the past, they've actually discovered the bodies of ancient Nephilim, which are very, very tall, like double or triple height compared to a human being. Okay, really important. Now, I'm not saying that the ancient Nephilim were blue, not at all. The ancient giants were blue. It's all about the size. It's all about the size of these people. Very important, guys. So this is where things get really, really, really interesting, and this is where things get really crazy, because we can tell that this is exactly what's happened in the past. Now, another one here. So this is just one example. Well, let's go back in ancient Egypt, for example. Like we have Gods of Egypt. So Gods of Egypt is also a very good, interesting movie, which shows effectively the ancient leaders of Egypt were effectively gods, and they were half humans and they were giants, and it just shows exactly the same thing. Under the guise of a movie, they tell us what has actually happened in the past, and then people watch the movie, and then they finish the movie, they see the truth in front of their eyes, but then when you tell them about this, that this is exactly actually what happened to our Earth back in the day, in the past, they would just laugh at your face, because they've already been conditioned automatically by the movies to believe that it's completely fake, and it's just a fantasy. But guys, it's not a fantasy. It's 100%. That's what happened in the past, and Avatar is just kind of telling us effectively that this is what happened, guys. This is how the past has conducted itself. The reset of the world when they destroyed the trees, okay, and now we have a barren world, is the truth, because it's true. On the current plane of existence, there actually are no trees. Not at all. The actual trees which existed back in the past, they were ginormous, gigantic, huge monsters, okay? And we can see it from there. This is a tree stump, this is a mountain. This is a tree stump, this is a mountain. A tree stump, a mountain. And then again, more mountains. I mean, it's quite obvious to me, guys. I mean, at least for me, it's very obvious that we are looking effectively at something that is definitely more than just mountain. This is a petrified, huge, giant tree. And Avatar is just one example of the movies which effectively does that. It carries forward the message of confusing people and telling them the truth, but the truth in a very interesting way, where they confuse themselves with the reality and just kind of think that it's all fantasy, it's all science fiction, it's all a story for entertainment, and that's it. And that's how the world governments control your minds, pretty much. But guys, remember, I told you this, and this is really important. Nothing is as it seems. It's really important. The past is hidden under layers of lies because the current world government is actually hiding so many things from you. In the next video, I'm going to potentially talk about the One Piece anime, which is very popular, by the way, which also talks about the Great Reset, the Lost Century, the Old World Government, the Celestial Dragons, as in the Reptilians. I mean, there's just so many things, guys, in that anime that is exactly the same thing. They show you the truth, but they do it in such a skillful way that you have no idea what you are actually watching. So guys, remember, and if you can't take anything else from this video, just take one thing, and that's the following. History, as you know it, has been manipulated so much that now they're showing to you the real history in movies, and you can't even tell apart. Because that's the whole point of CIA brainwashing. CIA ops is all about creating false narratives for people, so then they get lost in it and they don't know what is the truth of humankind's past. And this is just one example. But guys, as always, thanks for subscribing and watching the videos, as I shall see you later in the next one. And if you like the content, if it's challenging and thought-provoking, make sure to smash the subscribe button, guys, and give me a like, because it does support the channel quite massively, believe me, guys. But anyway, as always, see you later in the next video.